The Bring It On franchise is back with a new film in the series years after Worldwide Cheer Smack in 2017. And this time we're going from the usual Bring It On scenario to more of a horror route. Is it worth it? Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, my name is Joshua. I like to talk movies, TV, music, and anime, and this is going to be my thoughts on Bring It On, Cheer or Die, the 7th movie in this franchise. It's hard to believe that we are 7 movies into this franchise, isn't it? Anyways, this is the newest one. I've reviewed all the other Bring It On movies. If you want to watch my thoughts on that, I will leave a playlist for those. Bring It On, Cheer or Die. I was curious about this one because this was going the more horror approach, and it was a little bit unusual for the Bring It On series. Now, the Bring It On series, I grew up watching these movies whenever they come out a year apart or years after. And this is honestly one of my guilty pleasure franchises. It's one of my most watched franchises too. The 5th movie, I have some newfound appreciation for it. I still don't like that one, but I get what the attempt was. Worldwide Cheer Smack brought it all back in the full force. But Cheer or Die, this was going to be the one to test the series into new ground. I was able to check it out early somehow. This drops on Syfy tonight. You've already seen it on Syfy. But we're going to talk about Bring It On, Cheer or Die, and my thoughts on it. When the members of the cheerleading squad disappear, the remaining few must unmask the assailants. This is directed by Karen Lamb, and this stars a cast of unknowns: Kerri Medders, Tiera Skovybe, Missi Pyle, who's not unknown, and Erica Prevost. And so I have to say, going into this, I was extremely curious, but also I was extremely nervous because I thought this would be Bring It On, Fight to the Finish all over again. But I have to tell you, Bring It On, Cheer or Die is actually one of the better entries in the series. Starting off with the positives, of course, I do like the idea of this one. You're going for more of a usual different tone here. It does differ from the Bring It On movies. Take away the usual comedic tone and incorporates the more horror elements. And I do like that approach. Sometimes it's good to kind of experiment in a franchise like this. And while some people will not like the whole comedic aspect of this, I for one thought that it was more so appreciated. You don't get this chance more often to just explore cheerleading in a more horror approach. There's been a few other movies that have done this, but the fact that they actually had the balls and actually wanted to do something like this, I think is pretty cool. You have Abby and her team, Diablos, and their whole story is they are forbidden from doing any cheers that will risk them hurts, and they fear they will be laughed out of the competition. But they plan to do a choreographed new dance number with a routine in a secret near an abandoned school, and this killer who's trying to come after them with everything they is got. And so I definitely like that approach. I think it's very different. I think it's very fresh, and I think it's a way to kind of expand. They get locked inside school, and one by one they have to use their cheerleading skills to fight off this killer. And so I definitely give that credit for what you're trying to go at. I think it's actually clever. To top it off, the acting here, you're not getting the level of acting like you get with Hayden Panettiere or Kirsten Dunst in the first one, or Christina Milian, or Solange, or anyone like that. These are new coming actors, and I gotta say, they do fine for what they're given. I do like them. You do like the characters and stuff in here. You have Missi Pyle as your principal, of course, but I thought the cast of the cheerleading squad here, they did their job. Killer itself, as you watch this movie, I like the fact that they don't say who is killing them. You know that something's killing them, and you do see who it is killing them. But I do like the fact that it's all in secret, and there are some good cheers here that they give. You do comfort the cheers, so if you are a guy who likes cheerleading movies, there's plenty of that here. Cinematography wise and direction wise, of course this is made for DVD, made for TV, so of course it's not going to be up to par with some stuff, but I will say that it did its job, what it needed to do, and I can definitely vouch for that. So I will say that it did its job with what it was going for, and you did come across what your mission towards the end of the movie. It does take advantage of its premise, but considering the fact this is a horror film, you expect them to go a little bit more edgier, and who knows, maybe you can't do that because the franchise has been nothing but PG-13 to this point. So I will say that's one of my issues when it comes to the movie, is that they don't really go full-fledged for it. I will also say there are quite a few moments here which some of the writing is very iffy, and some of the characters here, aside from a few of the cheerleaders in the cheer team, they are not the best handled either. I will say that right now. I've been watching this franchise for quite a while, and there's been a lot of unlikable characters, but this has probably a few of them. And you do have your usual tropes in the franchise here. I do miss a little bit of the comedic aspect. Well, even though I was enjoying the new take on this, I did miss that a little bit. And to top it all off, I will say some of the CG here, some of the blood here, isn't going to be the greatest. I have the same problem when it comes to Monster High, the movie, which I will talk about. Other than that, I have to say, Bring It On, Cheer or Die is not as bad as I expected. It's got its issues, but I appreciate the fact that it wanted to be something a little more different. So if you are a long-time fan of this franchise and you really didn't have much faith into this, or if you just want to enjoy some cheerleader horror, my advice is to watch this. But if you are not a fan of this franchise and you're not a fan of the whole cheerleading squads getting killed off, you will not like this. I definitely did enjoy what Cheer or Die wanted to bring. And I will walk away giving this a highly recommendation. This is one of the better movies in this franchise since In It to Win It. Well, that's going to do it for the video that you just watched. I will have my channel here, so you would like to see anything here, click the channel icon, subscribe for more. I will also leave a video and maybe a playlist here, so in case you want to see what I'm about. As always, stay Epictasticness, join the Epictasticness, and you guys keep it cool.